Yeah, we sent all of that out already. So, all right. Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, listeners. Welcome to another Sunday evening at the round table. There's a lot we can talk about because a lot is happening in Jamaica and in the world. But today, we're going to spend the entire time with brother Jerry Small.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
Jerry Small is an historian, a man who, in the 1960s and 70s, very influential amongst urban youths, Rasta youths. In fact, he did a famous poem. I'm not sure if any of you recall, but a poem called Mabrak. That was one of the poems that influenced people like me at Tarrant at that time. Especially a line in that poem that said, "We will drink blood from white skull."
No, no,
Jerry,
no, no, no. No, that's not in my rock.
what's the line? There's a line that said, "Drink, we'll drink from something from skull." But I hope at the end of the program, you will say the poem for us. Okay? So, Brother Jerry, welcome again to the round table. Last week you raised some questions, and Mr. Hilton asked you to explain. Okay, I don't think you were given sufficient time to elaborate on what exactly you mean, but today is the time for you to explain, and we're going to ask you some questions. So, Brother Jerry, here with me is Wesley Harris. He wasn't here last week. Las Crawford is back with us. Of course, Mr. Radigan is with us. And a brother man by the name of Patrick. And also Leroy will be joining us at some point in the journey. So without further ado, I just want to turn it over to Mr. Radigan. You recall the question that was asked of Jerry?
Yeah, the question that was asked of Jerry was, what's the meaning of pulling the wool over the Jamaican people's eyes? Because Jerry had made some statements about the Constitution, and if politicians were aware of the history behind it, and he went even further he went further back than just the Constitution. But I think he made reference to the Constitution and said that the wool was pulled over the Jamaican people's eyes. And the question that was pending, that was placed and still pending, was what's the meaning of that term, pulling the wool over the Jamaican people's eyes, vis-a-vis the Constitution? Am I correct, Jerry?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Anthony Hilton mentioned that he was a member of the Constitutional Advisory Commission, along with other lawyers, many other lawyers, and another PNP member of Parliament. That PNP member of Parliament, apart from being a female, there was another difference between she and Hilton, the fact that him is a member of the lower house, and him is a member of the lower house, and she is a member of the upper house. The Parliament consists not only of the elected members, but of appointed members. Elected members are elected to the 63 constituents into which the geography of Jamaica is divided, the map of Jamaica, the land area. And that is the so-called lower house, the House of Representatives, like how England have the House of Commons, and England model them after England draws. So they are England is the top draw, and they are the bottom drawers. England model the so-called independence, the false independence, the false local government into two houses of parliament, one up and one lower. In Jamaica, the lower house, the elected members is the members of the lower house. In England, they call it the House of Commons, common people. And then the upper house in England is the House of Lords and Ladies and Duchesses and Baronesses and Barons. So now, Hilton is an elected member, equivalent to a member of the House of Commons in England. And Miss Donna Scott Motley is a member of the upper house in Jamaica, approximate to the House of Lords and Ladies in England. Now, I did say to Mr. Hilton, Anthony Hilton MP, that in my opinion, the Constitutional Advisory Commission that the government announced to make an impression upon the people of Jamaica that them going to be able to participate in the overhauling of the Constitution of Jamaica, then put out that impression by announcing the appointment of these people, overwhelmingly filled with lawyers and loyal people loyal to their system, whether PNP or JLP, and a few other people loyal to their system because they have been accorded certain status. People like Lloyd Barnett have status in the system of Jamaica constitutional matters. Hugh Small have status in the system of Jamaica constitutional matters. Rocky Mead have status in the system of Jamaica political establishment because him head the army under the Prime Minister, the Minister of Defense, and the Prime Minister want him not behind him now, but he want him beside him. So people like you, Small, Lloyd Barnett, Rocky Mead, and others have status even though them is not identified with JLP or PNP. Yet they have seen some of them since have been identified with JLP and PNP and some before. I think you, Small, stated once that he was one of the representatives of the opposition point of view or of the opposition experience, because this whole constitutional thing now is their latest takeoff point, like how it's a long jump have a takeoff point and a hop, skip and jump have a takeoff point and a pole vault have a takeoff point. This constitutional reform, pretended constitutional reform, their takeoff point supposed to be the PNP 1995 constitutional situation, position, and plan. What I've been saying plain so far?
Yeah.
All right, so when I hear Anthony Hilton identify himself and commending the Constitutional Advisory Commission, I ask him if he realize that the Constitutional Advisory Commission, not to be a figurehead and a rubber stamp, and to be a con game leading the people of Jamaica to believe that them have a talk in this. If they don't want to be that cat's paw and dog paw, they have to explain to the people of Jamaica how the wool had been pulled over the people of Jamaica eye to make them feel like them important between 1944 and culminating in 1962. Well, when I said that Mr. Hilton sound like him feel hurt and took it personally, that if him and they don't perform certain tasks, they would be helping the administration to pull the wool over people's life a third time. 1944, 1962, and now 2023. And him go further and say, I asked the question about 4 times, what you really mean? Because, what you really mean by pulling wool over people's life, what you really mean, and not talking plain. He went further to say, him is a lawyer and him know, and Mr. Rattigan also is a lawyer, and also know that the way where Jerry Small stating the supposed question is innuendo, not a plain and straight question. It insinuating certain thing, and it not plain and straight. And about 3 more times he responded similarly, and he seemed quite offended and hurt. So much so that I withdraw from the perceived cross-examination or examination of him. You hear this now? In 1944, you gentlemen aware that in 1944 there was a constitutional change in the laws that govern Jamaica by Britain. You gentlemen aware?
The adult suffrage.
Yes. Is only you aware? Anybody else?
All of us remember that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Civics, brother. Civics.
All right. So in 1944, adult suffrage was brought in to say that they are giving all of the adults in Jamaica a talk in political decision. So adult in 1944, adult was recognized as being human beings who reach 21 years old and past it. Suffrage means allowing people. So people will be allowed to do certain things once them reach adulthood. At the time it was 21 years old. Before that, could more than one of the other people here help to remind us what before 1944 December was the qualification to vote in Jamaica? You can help me by reminding people, making people know what kind of thing they'd qualify you before 44, not just being 21-year-old.
Land
Property, man.
ownership.
You have to own land one, right?
Yeah.
And not just a little drop of land, a certain amount of land, right? That's one vital one. And another one was what?
Yeah, but can't read, right?
Have to can read. All right.
All
and
right.
there was a third important one. I will remind, but a third important one, which you will be surprised. If you don't answer, you will be surprised that you did know. Anyone can remind me the third one? Apparently not. You have to show that you're paying certain amount of taxes. Remember that now?
Yeah.
And that was hinged and not hinged, both hinged and not hinged, to the land ownership for which you pay tax. But other paying of tax could make up for that if you never own land. Understand?
Yeah.
So now, as I said to Mr. Hilton and to the public, many senior politicians in present Jamaica Day politics don't even know, much less remember, that all those things went on the people, similar to what them using them for the know. Most people who are being used to con other people don't know that they are being used to con other people. So them not guilty. I wasn't trying to make Mr. Hilton feel guilty. I was just making him aware that he's being used to sanitize the government, like how Colonel Trevor Macmillan, once the head of the army. Anybody remember him?
Yes.
When the PNP was in trouble shortly after winning the election of 1993, shortly after them win the election of 1993, when Michael Manley resigned and P.J. Patterson inherit the leadership of the party, but never have him on mandate because Michael Manley did win, which lead the PNP to win the 72 the 89 election. P.J. Patterson now seek him one mandate by keeping an election in 93, which was just 4 years after them winning 89. So
I'm not hearing.
Come again?
Hello?
What did they say?
Yeah,
Somebody said
I'm not
something.
hearing Jerry.
Anybody else not hearing me?
I am hearing you.
I am
I'm not
hearing
hearing
you.
anything, Mikey.
Something wrong with your headphone, brother.
See if it mute.
What? Ask him if he was ever hearing me, or if it just, or if he was never hearing me, or if it just stopped.
My
But
sound's
anyway,
gone.
for you too, for more than one person.
No, just go. Continue, Jerry. Continue.
All right. So P.J. Patterson called election 93 to get him 1 5-year mandate as leader of the PNP, and then win the election. But shortly after winning the election, it was evident that they was losing credibility more and more. Colonel Macmillan was appointed as Commissioner of Police, mainly to
Mikey.
boost up the image of the PNP
My mic is
administration.
muted.
No, it should not be muted, bro. Continue, Jerry.
Yeah, I
Hello?
need to know when you want to say something so that I can allow you to be heard.
Lassell,
Anyway.
I'm hearing you. Continue, Jerry. Continue.
Yes, so P.J. Patterson and the PNP get a new mandate in 93, but them credibility was sinking fast. And they brought in Colonel Trevor Macmillan to reassure the people of Jamaica that something serious was going to be done about public security and crime management. You remember?
Yeah,
Yes,
man.
I do.
Yes, I'm not going. I don't like to me one just a talk or go on because the public
No,
learn.
go.
Well, make a finish, please. Make a finish saying what I'm saying, please. I don't want to just keep on talking like a lecture because the public enjoy and feel much more comfortable when they hear an interaction between discussants.
Yeah.
So, yes, so now, do you remember when Macmillan was brought in 93?
Yeah, I remember,
Yes,
but I
yes,
didn't
I
know
do.
that he was brought in because of the boost up the image of the PNP. I remember when he was.
What was he brought in for?
No, I say I don't know. I don't remember that's what he was brought in for. So I
Okay,
think he was just brought in as a new commissioner, but I didn't know it was on that basis. So you're teaching me something now.
Yeah, but please don't take my word for it. Please check it out because it's easy to research the situation at the time. All right, so Macmillan was brought in. And the public felt much better because they got to trust Macmillan not only after him service in the army, but after him service on the waterfront when he was making security on the waterfront much better for a few years, along with Mr. another Captain Hewlett, securing the waterfront. So now a lot of politicians don't know this that even when they seen a politician. So in 1944, when after the 38th rebellion, which them know was not finished, they knew that the 38th rebellion was not finished. The PNP was formed right in the middle of the 38th rebellion. Bustamante was a foundation member. After infiltrating the 38th rebellion, he did not lead it. He infiltrated it, and after a while he was arrested. The British were looking for people who could manage the population under the threat of Garvey taking over the population. Garvey and people like Garvey had been taking over the population between 1927 and 1938. Garvey first between 27 and 30. When he become very successful, winning 3 seats. I think it's 3 seats him winning a local government election, including McNeil father, the two brothers, not McNeil, politician McNeil, them father, win an election for the PPP, Marcus Garvey party. Marcus Garvey himself win 2 seat 2 times and lose one. I think him lose one and win one. And is a threat. The people are gravitating to him more and more. And then 1930, here comes the Rastafari movement become evident in Jamaica. It was here before, but it's 1930 it become evident. And the British know so them days numbered between Marcus Garvey and the Rastafari movement. And they were looking around for some people to put at the head of the population so that Marcus Garvey and the Rastafari don't reach where them evidently can not be stopped from reaching. So the British now, after Bustamante Foundation, remember the PNP, the British pull out Bustamante out of the PNP. Anthony Hilton don't know that. But Anthony Hilton is a senior PNP member, more than one time cabinet minister and present MP, but him don't know that the British should pull Bustamante out of the PNP. Now you mention a book to me, Miss Anita. What name?
Rise and Organize by Richard Hart.
What it about? What was it about?
It's about 1938, the period 1936 to 1939.
All right, because the people are bubble up from before 1938, especially after Marcus Garvey worked between 27 and 35. That's 8 years. And especially after the Rastafari rise up and start spread after 1930. Rise up before 1930, but it starts spread like wildfire after 1930. And you remember that Marcus Garvey was charged by the government and put in prison?
Yes.
You remember what I'm charged for?
I think he made some statements. I'm not sure.
Public history or something like that.
He makes some statement, what?
Against the judges or something to that effect.
He makes statement
against Norman Manley.
And them charge him with sedition and explain what is sedition to the people and for me.
Radigan.
Yep, the brethren then must make it more interesting for the people more than me.
Yeah, sedition is like a form of overthrowing the government.
Yes, sedition is a threat to the government. Overthrow government, and that them put Marcus Garvey in prison for. And here come the Rastafari movement. When Marcus Garvey start get tired and do one prison sentence at Jamaica already, after him do a sentence in America, here rise up the Rastafari movement now, and I carry it further than Marcus Garvey, and Marcus Garvey is still present in Jamaica. So it's a two-pronged attack now. But the Rastafari movement now be a threat to the government in Jamaica, you know. The Rastafari rise up as a threat to the throne of England. That's what the Rastafari rise up about. Not as a religion, but a threat to the throne of England. Say, back off, Hungary, King George. You may not rule our people. As a matter of fact, Haile Selassie we just crowned. You and your family have to bow to him. And him throne more ancient than any other one. Back off, government of England. So Marcus Garvey attacked the government of Jamaica and them charge him with sedition. Rastafari attacked the government of Britain, the ruler of the world, and them charged several Rastafari with sedition. Leonard Howell and more. And the British know so them days numbered now. And because them now look for some people who them can insert into the population to control them. And Norman Manley proved himself first by volunteering to prosecute Marcus Garvey. He is not a government lawyer, you know. but him volunteered to serve the government and prosecute Marcus Garvey in a case, a famous case. And then Bustamante now start push out female by writing letters to the paper and going like him and defend the poor people of Jamaica, lending out money to poor people in Kingston. And the British select him, cousin Norman first, said this guy can get out Marcus Garvey. And them select Bustamante after and said this guy I know Manley cousin can do it, and them have them in reserve there. But it's 1942 before the British actually pull Bustamante out of the PNP and make him set up another party now for rival the PNP, because the British specialize in setting up two-party government to con the people, make them feel like them have choice and these people is their leaders. So then carry out the con. Bustamante left out of the PNP and start attack the PNP as communists, set up his own party, and the British fulfill them promise to Bustamante, change the constitution, say all adults can vote, because before that if a woman even own land and a pay tax, she can't vote if she even white woman own 10,000 acre land. So the British now, with the third step in them plan to con the people of Jamaica with Bustamante and Manley, them change the constitution, say all adults, all people on over 21 can vote now. So the people now get the vote. The brethren agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now what you used to have before 44 forget the vote?
What you
hold back like
44 to get the vote?
yeah, what you used to have before 44 to have a vote? What you used to have to have?
You have to have land and all of those things.
Yeah, you have to have land
And come
and
from
money. You have to have
land and money and come from the ruling class. And come from the ruling class.
The British con the people of Jamaica. And Bustamante and Manley help them con the people of Jamaica. Them not give the people the land and money where them supposed to qualify for vote. You understand? You come like
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, we
I
follow
don't
you,
want you
man.
follow
You have to
me,
make it fine.
I don't want you follow me. I want you step on step with me, because you know same thing with me know. Say the British con the people of Jamaica by not giving them what them need to qualify to vote. Them need land and money to vote. But the British don't turn over the land to them, nor give them money. Is that true?
That's
That is true.
Yes.
And
but
that's why
is
the
that
constitution. That's why the constitution change. That's why they go for a constitutional change.
Yes, because them supposed to now give the people the qualification for vote, give them the Ross land where them owe them, and give them the money where them owe them. Bustamante and Manley help con them like the Constitutional Committee, you know, by tell the people them say, see there now, you have the vote. Them not tell them say you have the land, you know, and you have the money. Bustamante and Manley job was to tell the people say, you have the vote. You understand how the can go?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
You understand?
Yeah, man, enough.
You don't understand,
Yeah, man, we're
sir?
good. Yes,
So you
man.
We follow your content.
I don't want you to follow me, because you know these things, it's just that you never discussed it before. You know these things that the British con the people by don't give them the land, which is the qualification. And Bustamante and Manley enroll in the plan by help tell the people them say, see there now you're free, you have vote. And land them forget, you know. But them get vote. That's a big con where all of the people of Jamaica all know, most of them don't know that. Did them teach you that in school or college?
No.
Not teaching at school or college. So here are we now at 75-year-old, 65-year-old, 55-year-old, 45-year-old, realizing say the British con you, and although you know say you get fornicate back way, you think it was a male a fornicate you. You never even look behind you. When you realize say you get fornicate, not by the vote, but by not getting the land. Anyway, so now the people get the vote, but how long the people get the vote for? When they get the people the vote, how long the people keep the vote? Give me an answer, no man. When the people get the vote, how long them keep it? come like me a reason.
Yeah, but they keep the vote from that. That was when the 1944 Constitution said no, we have one man, one vote. That was
One man,
that was
one
the, that's
woman.
my that
One man, one woman.
one vote.
One vote.
One
And
vote.
when them get the vote?
62,
1944, man.
44, yeah, adult suffrage, yeah.
One month them get it.
I'm not sure of the month.
Well, 1 month the election keep 44.
I'm not sure.
It was
I'm not
February.
sure.
It was
December
February 1944.
December 1944. Them get the vote for 1 day. After them voters day, election day, them have no more vote?
No.
No, not until the next 5 days, then get it for 1 day again. So instead you get land permanently, you get the vote for 1 day. And how a government form after the vote? How is a government form after the vote?
The party selects its leader and its ministers and so forth.
No. How is the government formed after the voting? How them know who is the government?
Majority.
By checking out the ballots, the ballot from the different parishes.
By checking out the ballot in each constituency, each
Past the post.
candidate will get the most votes win that constituency, not true?
Yeah.
Man.
So the candidate get the vote. The people get the vote for 1 day. But the candidate get the vote for 5 years. And the candidate knows that them can buy the vote. So the people get the vote for 1 day and sell the vote and have no more talk for the next 5 days. And the candidate them start learn now, say what? And me rule now for 5 more days, and the idiot people them don't have no more talk for 5 more days, 5 more years. That continue for 18 years. And them come back with the same trick again, 62. Use Bustamante and Manley. Convince the people of Jamaica, say, you're not only going to get the vote, now you're going to get independence. You remember?
Yeah.
Yes, man.
Did we get independence 62?
What we got 62 was independent to the sense that we with the British in terms of paper, the British is no longer the government down here, so we have our own government and parliament.
All right, so we have our own government.
We have our own flag,
right.
and they take down the British flag.
All right. So that was a con game again, like when you think say you will get land for vote qualification. That was our next con game, but you don't know because they never teach at a school nor university. That's why Anthony Hilton feel hurted that him as a lawyer go to university and don't know certain thing and him feel like me I try to show him up. I never try to show him up. Because they never teach me at school neither. And dig up that when me there at JC. Me a little boy at JC and we had dig up them thing there. And we have said this is a con game. From we a little boy we find out that. I was 14-year-old in 1962. And me and my little brethren them know say it is a con game. This is not independence. Anyway, long story short. 62 when them said Jamaica independent. And when JLP win the election, the 10th of April 62. And them said Jamaica independent, the 6th of August 62. And them swear in. Bustamante become what?
Premier.
No. Manley was made premier in 1957, which was a step up from chief minister. But 62 them start call it prime minister.
Yeah.
And Bustamante was prime minister to who?
For the GLP and the British and the British.
No. Eh?
For the GLP as a party.
No, you're a minister when you are chosen by somebody to serve them. Who Bustamante was prime minister to? Bustamante was prime minister to the Queen of England. And the minister, they must minister to the Queen of England, not the people of Jamaica. Do you agree?
Yes.
It's only you agree?
No, man, I agree with you, man.
Jerry, yes, it's partial, yes, even today it is because we're still under the Queen of England, because we still have that tied with the Queen of England and using the Queen of England as head of state, which the GG represents. So that's true. Right, Jerry?
I don't know something, but he has to.
All right, here's no. Prime ministers in England, Jamaica, and Canada are ministers of the King of England. Do you know that?
Yeah.
I only y'all don't know that. All right, the whole of it supposed to know say ministers are not ministers of the people of Jamaica, but the people of Jamaica believe that, you know. Even adults, you know.
Yeah.
Even people who win road scholarship, even people who are lawyer, people who come first and them form of return believe say the ministers is ministers of the people of Jamaica. They are not ministers of the people of Jamaica. They are ministers of the King of England. And a QC is not a Queen's Council of the people of Jamaica. The QC is a Queen's Council of the Queen of England. And that's why when the Queen dead, them swear them back in as King's Council. Not no council of the people of Jamaica, but of the Queen of England and the King of England. And the ministers are ministers of the King of England, and the Parliament are servants of the King of England. Anybody want to contest that?
No,
Agree,
because
man. Agree.
because
go ahead, down.
Because when they take the oath, they swear allegiance to the Queen.
And the King.
And the King. They swear allegiance to the King, yeah.
And it's not a formality. Do you believe it's a formality and it's just a figure thing? That is who their allegiance is to.
Yeah.
All of them, including somewhere, as if them is independent, revolutionary, leftist, anti-monarchist, and so on. Anyway, the long story is that them bring up the con game against 62. Buster Manty and Manley deliberately, unknowingly assist them. And every prime minister since, including PJ Patterson, go and assist them and never explain to the people of Jamaica that they are servants of the King of England. And all of them know. You see, if them never know before they was prime minister, after them are prime minister, them tip them on them shoulder and make them know. And that is why Bruce Golden did say, I will not take no most honorable title. A PJ Patterson invent the most honorable title, you know. Because PJ Patterson was contemplating, say, if him need to win the next election and it's difficult, him will declare that Jamaica is a republic and him going to lose the title, Right Honorable. Do you know that every Prime Minister of Jamaica did have the title Right Honorable?
Yes.
What Right Honorable mean?
Yeah, man.
What Right Honorable mean? Talk to me now, man.
Right honorable mean that you're at the right hand side of the King and Queen of England.
Right, the title Right Honorable mean that you are a member of the Privy Council of the Queen of England and the King of England. So when PJ Patterson prepare now, if you take out Jamaica out underneath the King of England, and him now want to lose the status of the title Right Honorable, him invent a title Most Honorable. Him call Siaga and tell Siaga, you will get that title to although he is opposition, because he was once a prime minister. Siaga agreed to it, and the two of them going to con the people of Jamaica, and then start calling himself Right Honorable, Most Honorable. Bruce Golden realized when him come in, after Portia seems to feel good for her, then call her Most Honorable. When Bruce Golden come in, him say him not take the title. And he been there for 4 years. And when them order him out of Jamaica house, when Holness come in, him pretend to and say him never say nothing, but him never take the title. But when him lose after a mere 11, how much month him staying there? Him staying there 3 months. Him get the title December. Him get the title when? September. I think get the title September 2011. And him go call election before the time. Desmond Mackenzie con him and make him call election December 29th, 2011. Portia Simpson win and swear in January. But when the JLP defeat back PNP under Portia Simpson and then win back the election 2016, Wellness grab up the most honorable because him wife say she want most honorable and him a deny her feet. And him grab up the most honorable. You don't understand me? You understand me?
Yes, I understand, but I have some questions, Jerry.
Please, sir. Please, sir.
In the period 1936 to 39,
Yeah.
there was an active communist presence in Jamaica.
Yes.
Led by a man called Hugh Buchanan.
Yes, yes.
Can you speak to that and tell what were the role of the communists in that time, the Marxists?
Well, the communist movement has gone a couple of 100 years. You didn't know that?
I know that.
But a man rise up now and carry the communist movement to a higher heights. Him is a German Jew in the 1800s named Marx. So him analyze out how the capitalist system work more than anybody else in the communist movement before. And him start analyze the class structure of society all around the world through history. And him analyze up how the grabbing of all the land in every country around the world by the rich. It never just lead to monarchy. It lead to feudalism with landowner not only rule but own the landless. And after that, man when no own land start make money, although him not own the land, so him a merchant. You know a merchant?
Yeah, traders.
Merchant
Yeah.
a man where a sell merchandise or insurance. Insurance industry rise up through slave trade. And banking industry, although it's ancient, it get modernized through slave trade. And central bank established in a country where give money people and politicians more control over money, where them now have to gain a real money again. Them start print paper give, and the banking industry become very strong, and insurance industry develop to pay back merchant make money by sell merchandise. Then when him have enough money now him find out he can go pay for bill ship and go into the new trade. And it's the new trade that bring more money than ever before in the history of the world. And the merchant take him extra money now and start set up bank. Bank they bought long time, but the new bank them now more comprehensive and start give out paper. When I work the paper we have money, we no work the paper where it print pan. You understand? And the system I get more and more efficient. Merchant I get powerful now, more on landowner. So merchant now I got overthrow landowner now, you know. Landowner, feudal system of landowner. But merchant get so rich now that bank owner and insurance company owner now equal rich and powerful like like landowner. And equally rich to royal family now. Merchant. And when merchant have money till him now nothing to do, can sit down and plan. When him sit down and plan him spare time, him get to find say, you can make machine to do any kind of work and start experiment with machine. If you want a machine for fornicate your wife when you're gone on foreign trip, you make machine fornicate your wife and make sure not take man outside. Did you know they have machine names, sir? Me serious now asking you if you didn't know
So
they have
hence the
machine.
Industrial Revolution.
I said that you have machine can fornicate your wife if you don't want to take no man when you're gone away. Did you know they have machine like that?
Yeah.
So you can make machine to do any type of work. So you don't need slave again. You need people to buy products. And through you need people to buy product now, you can let go the slave and pay them paper. And then come at your shop with the paper, come buy soap. Because they must come buy things we have to done and buy back again. You know. They can't buy no land with it. Them buy soap, them buy deodorant, them buy toilet paper. That name consumer goods it soon, don't they have to come buy it back. And so the capitalist system build up so you can have machine for work. You need customer now. You just have some customer now by employ the labor now. You used to slave him. You can employ him now and print some paper game and then bring the paper now and bring it paper shop where you own the shop to and give one piece of paper and get soap. But you get him for work for you for nothing for piece of paper and him come and buy. I use him labor now, buy soap from you and the soap I got done by next week. And then buy back from you and you get richer and richer. So and now land owning now and ship owning now are the big thing. A machine owning. A machine is capital goods.
But
Capital
Jerry,
in the head.
you haven't answered the question. You haven't answered the question I asked. What was the role of the communists during that period?
You can understand what role a communist is. And what Karl Marx explain and carry communism to a new level. Hold on. You can understand what communist is. And what Karl Marx carry communism to a new level. And how Karl Marx analyze and explain out class system without you go through industrial revolution and why white people let go slave to come buy goods from him. You can understand Karl Marx without you go through this?
I understand that, but my question is in relation to the 1938 revolt, disturbance, whatever you want to call it, and the trickery that Manley and Bustamante played on the people. What role did the communists, man like you, Buchanan, Richard Hart, and do it? What role did they play in that?
All right, you can learn the answer, you know. You can learn the answer and memorize it or write it down. Take notes. And when the exam come, you write down the right answer. And you get 100%. But you still not really comprehend because Anthony Hilton last week not get no 100%, you know. And Anthony Hilton bright. But him begs because him say we never did do that in the class. And you said things, you ask questions where we never did go through in the revision.
Okay.
So if you not go through this, you're not going to understand how communism start take over the world. You're not going to understand 1917 and the communist revolution in Russia, where communists overthrow not only feudalism, but the Russian royal family. And when they overthrow the largest landmass, when communism carry out a revolution in the middle of a world war, where you think the world war important, in the middle of World War, when England fight Germany, something big happen. In the middle of the World War, we're going to threaten both England and Germany. Communism overthrow capitalism in the middle of World War. And the two Germany and England where fight war realize them get fornicate back way. Because when the war done, communism will go overthrow German royal family, overthrow England royal family, and communism will go overthrow and take over England and Germany. So that is why most people don't realize 1917 Russian Revolution, a white start to make England quake, and white make America enter the World War 1917. Because America no participate in a world conflict, you know. But 1917 them forced to come in a world war. Because Russian Revolution take place. And when the World War done, Russia gonna yam them supper through communism. I remember say Russia was an ally of England and America, you know. And Russia helped them win the World War against Germany. And when Russia done, Russia go and go yam for them supper too. And when communism starts spread around the world, so communism did resent all Marcus Garvey, you know. Because Marcus Garvey no bow to communism. And communism has spread amongst the black intellectual and educated people. And Marcus Garvey was one of the few obstacles. So communism now start campaign against Marcus Garvey and Pan-Africanism. So this is a stumbling block in them way. Because the ideal set of people if it carry out world communism is the black people around the world. And here the black people around the world have a leader now where them look to more than now Lenin. Then Lenin carried to a new level, you know. Fight the name Marxism first, you know, but when Lenin come show them better way how to make communism carry out revolution. Then put on him name for Marxism and start call it Marxism, Marxist Leninism. Why you what Lenin say? Marx analyze out all of the class struggle and everything, you know. But Lenin tell them now, say, how you going to carry out the revolution? You join up with the popular forces in every country. You work along with the workers. You work along with the socialists. You work along with the Democrats and everybody, and you join coalition with them. And when the revolution are going to take over, now you start kill off all of the coalition people them. And you take over. Lenin no easy, you know. Lenin work along with you, and at the last moment, you start cut off all them, ally them head. If you think I go ask Trevor Monroe. What me say? What me say if you ask?
Why should we ask Trevor Monroe?
Because Trevor Monroe the top Marxist Leninist in Jamaica history. Because the 4H's was Marxist. But Trevor Monroe Marxist Leninist, him not skin up. I'm Bishop of Grenada.
Question.
Jerry, a question from Radigan.
Yeah.
Bongo.
Yes,
I want to take you back to the 1962, the Constitution, and I just want some clarification from you as a historian. To the best of your knowledge, and your knowledge is vast, what is the composition of the Parliament? Who make up the Parliament? And
the Parliament of Jamaica, right?
Yes, sir.
It is made up out of elected representatives, the lower house, elected for 5 years. And then it is made up of an upper house, which is appointed representative. Whichever party win more seats than any other party is invited to form the administration. The party will win the second most amount of seats is invited to form the opposition. And the government is composed of the administration along with the opposition. The upper house of the parliament, which is called the Senate, shall be composed of 21 members. The party that win the most seats in the lower house shall be authorized through them prime servant of the king, prime minister, to nominate 13 out of 21 members. And the leader of the opposition authorized to nominate 8 out of the 21. Now 21 can divide in a 3, not true?
Yeah.
3 into 21 is how much?
7.
But to change the deeply rooted law, them, it requires a 2/3 majority
in both houses.
In the Senate. So if one party did have 14 members in the Senate, that party could have easily changed things easily through the Senate, not true?
Yeah.
So the British give the Jamaican people the impression that them looking out for them by saying, no party will have 14 senators, and therefore we're going to make the winning party only have 13, and the losing party have 8. That means if the winning party wins 62 seats out of 63, you see, how much senator them can appoint?
13.
And if the losing party win 1 seat, how much senator them can appoint?
Still 8.
8. So the British make the people of Jamaica feel say, boy, this is a good system, you know. Because no one party going get to dominate we and rule forever. You see how them Cornish?
Bongo.
Yeah.
All right. So let me see if I understand you. The Jamaican Parliament is composed of a upper house and a lower house.
Right.
Right? And the winning party, they amongst themselves decide who will be the prime minister.
Yes, but
And
the words on the constitution paper is to the effect.
Right. And
Wait, hold on. But Makaro said one time, please. The words on the constitution is to the effect that when there occurs a vacancy in the office of prime minister, that means that when a prime minister either vacate him seat or him get thrown or election time come, the Governor General, who is the representative of the King of England, shall determine, in other words, them shall find out and decide in him one mind to him best judgment, which one of the 63 members of Parliament enjoy the support of the most other member of Parliament, and shall ask that member of Parliament to enjoy the most support to form a government. And how does a member of Parliament to enjoy the most support from a government? They choose a list of people, whether out of the lower house or out of the Senate or out of the general public when no in no politics, and name out a cabinet, present to the Governor General, we carry it to England to tell the king, said, them I am no chief servant in Jamaica, them 14 years. And him shall now swear in the Prime Minister as the chief servant or yard boy, and the rest of the minister and mistress as a chamber boy will take out the people pan, or the one where beard the dog as junior minister. But the chief minister or the prime minister are the head gardener boy. Anyway, that is how the prime minister.
all right.
Yeah.
All right. Just following along those lines.
Yeah.
You said that, just to recap for the listening audience or the viewing audience, the parliament is composed of upper house, lower house, and winning party gets to choose amongst themselves who will become the prime minister, and from there you have a selection as to the cabinet.
No,
Now-
that the prime minister now select for him cabinet.
Right.
RFR.
Right. Now you mentioned that the prime minister is essentially the king of Jamaica, who reports to the king.
No, he's not the king of Jamaica.
Okay.
He's a servant of the king of England. He's not the king. Him wanna be. And right now him a try organize a new constitution where him become that more by throughout the king of England and become more king of Jamaica, but him that yet.
Okay.
And this constitutional revision committee is helping him to become a wannabe king, and them know too.
Here's why I asked you the question. I'm looking at the Constitution, Chapter 5, Part 1, subsection 34, entitled Establishment of Parliament. And it says, there shall be a Parliament of Jamaica, which shall consist of 3 entities, not 2. First one, Her Majesty.
Yes.
Hold on. Second
Her
one.
or His Majesty.
All right. Second one. When it was written, it was a woman. So you're right. It's correct. Right. So now it's His Majesty.
Yeah.
A Senate and a House of Representatives. So there are 3 entities, not 2. No.
Yes.
Stay with me. Right. Now, if you go to Chapter 4, entitled the Governor General, and you go to subsection 27, it says, there shall be a Governor General of Jamaica who shall be appointed by Her Majesty and shall hold office during Her Majesty's pleasure, and who shall be Her Majesty's representative in Jamaica.
What is Her Majesty pleasure?
Whenever she feel like. She can move at will. It's an
Yes.
employment at will. You can move him anytime, or move the Governor General, whether man or woman, anytime.
Yeah,
Here's
because
a question.
her pleasure is to have a yard boy under her.
All right, fair enough. Here's a question may I ask you. And this is, I'm just asking you this with outer respect and outer trying to understand what's going on here as far as the Constitution is concerned.
You're helping the listening public very much.
Okay. How do you square the powers of the Governor General being the monarchy's representative in Jamaica with that of the Prime Minister, who is the lackey of the monarchy? How do you square those two?
The Governor General have no power. The Governor General have authority. The Prime Minister usually get authority and have political power also. The Governor General have no power. The Governor General have a little brief authority where Shakespeare write about.
All right. Well, then, what I'd like you to do then is explain to the viewing audience the difference or distinction between power and authority.
Authority come from a source more powerful than the authorized. So authority come from a power more powerful than you will get authorized. Authority is for a prescribed period of time and over a prescribed area of discretion.
Okay.
So the authority defined.
All right. I'm gonna read you something out of the Constitution, and you tell me. You said the Governor General has no power; he only has authority.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read you something out of the Constitution, and then you tell me if this is power or authority.
All right.
I'm going to section 32 of the Constitution, right? And it's from chapter 4, entitled "The Governor General." 32, subsection 3 says, where the Governor General is directed to exercise any function after consultation with any person or authority, he shall not, NOT, be obliged to exercise that function in accordance with the advice of that person or authority. Subsection 4, go on to say, where the Governor General is directed to exercise any function in accordance with the recommendation or advice of, or with the concurrence of, or after consultation with, or on the representation of any person or authority, the question whether he has so exercised that function shall not, NOT, be inquired into any court. That sounds to me like that doesn't sound to me like authority. That sounds like power, because they're saying that even somebody who has the authority to come to him and meet with him and ask him to do certain things, he has the discretion. And I think that's what you're assigned to: power, discretion, authority.
All right, hear this now. The Governor General, as you rightly point out, and I did start the discussion, the Governor General have authority. And as you point out, and as I did intimate, him also have discretion. Now, authority and discretion are within parameters, not true?
Within what? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Parameters.
Okay.
Now, the Governor General, why is the Governor General not obliged to carry out any demand by Prime Minister and other people in Jamaica? Why am not obliged?
I don't know the reason for that.
Would you like me to offer the reason?
Yeah. But also at the same time, I just want to get from you whether that what I just read to you is authority or power.
Then that we are going to arrive at.
All right, go ahead.
That's where we are going to arrive, you know.
Okay.
Why is it that the Governor General not obliged to take no demand from Prime Minister or no court? Why?
A fair reading. You want me to answer that or no?
Yeah.
A fair reading of that. If you go back to this first one I read to you, here it is, chapter 4, 27. It says there shall be a governor general of Jamaica who shall be appointed by Her Majesty. Therefore,
Yes.
right. So him not for kowtow to anybody in Jamaica. Because those
Yes.
people in Jamaica, they're not his bosses.
Who him kowtow to?
His Majesty, or well, His Majesty no. Because
Yes.
him serve at His Majesty's pleasure. So His
Yes,
Majesty can remove him.
because both Her Majesty and His Majesty like to enjoy and get pleasure out of having a yard boy under them. And as long as a yard boy serve them well under them pleased with that till them tired of him and them get a next yard boy with stronger than them or a more stiff-necked. So now the Governor General don't have power. Listen here. The Governor General don't have power. The Governor General have authority and discretion from the King or Queen of England. Not power him out.
Well, I tell you what, Jerry, I would take a different view. I would say, as far as the last sentence you just stated regarding the relationship between the Governor General and the monarchy, I agree with you. But as far as the relationship between the Governor General and the government of Jamaica, it would appear to me as if he has power.
He don't have power. Him don't have power. He has been authorized by the King of England.
But here's the power. Here's the power.
Hold on. What
Hold on a second now. Hold on a second, Jerry. Here's where the power comes in for me. If you are authorized to do certain things, it means essentially you're a rubber stamper. But when somebody says to you, listen, you can do this, or you can do whatever you want to do, that to me is not that to me is not only authority, it's also power. Because here's why: when you can say to the Governor General that, listen, whoever in Jamaica shall come to you, Prime Minister, Senate leader, or whatever, can come to you with certain things that them think you're supposed to, or ask you to do it. And guess what? It's up to you. You don't have to do it. And furthermore, if you don't do it, guess what happens? They cannot compel you in Jamaica to do it. To me, that's powerful.
Yes. Hold on. Who can compel him to do it?
Only His Majesty can compel him.
And that is not power.
No, it's power between. No, Jerry, hold on a second. Hold on.
That is not
it is
power.
It is power. It is power. Because listen, Jerry, everybody have to answer to somebody, and that's what I'm saying to you. There are two relationships.
Hold on. Ratigan, listen to me. You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Who made Jerry Small have to answer to?
Only Jerry Small knows. I don't know, but Jerry Small knows.
But you just tell me everybody have to answer.
Who do I answer to? Who do I answer to?
You just tell me say everybody have to answer to somebody.
Yes.
Tell me who me have to answer to.
No, but wait on a second. I didn't say I know who everybody have to answer to, you know. I just say I know everybody have to answer to somebody.
All right, who me?
I don't know who you answer to. I know who I answer to.
I think the thing is moving in a way that is out of the
well, all right. Hey, hold on. Yeah, hear me now?
No, Jerry.
Yeah, hear me now?
No, Jerry.
Yeah, hear me? Hold on. Hear this now.
Jerry.
No.
Hold on a second, Jerry.
No,
Jerry, no, man. No, yield now. Because you talk a long time. Give somebody a chance to talk now, Jerry. Hear what me I said to you, Jerry. All me I said to you is that you're describing two different and distinct relationships. You're defining a relation, and the central person is the Governor General. You're defining a relationship between the Governor General and the monarchy, and you're defining a relationship between the Governor General and the government of Jamaica. And what I'm saying to you is that between the Governor General and the King, there is authority. But between the Governor General and the government of Jamaica, there is power, because him can refuse. You know, all right, hold on. You know this, Jerry, that the Governor General, when the Prime Minister come to him and say, I want you to declare a state of emergency, right? He doesn't have you know what he has? He has the power to say no. He hasn't said no. He has the power to say no.
All right, I'm going to ask you. Hello, I'm going to ask you what Mussolini asked the Pope of Rome. You hear me?
Well, let me be absolutely clear before you have
No. Ask if you hear me.
Yeah, I hear you.
You remember what Mussolini asked the Pope of Rome?
No, but I remember what chapter 4,
No, hold on. When I reach, hold on.
No, no, I'm not talking about something. A document from me I look on that was govern Jamaica. And you're telling me now go Europe to talk to me about something way back there. So we can stick to this and then we can resolve this, then we can talk about when Mussolini tell the poor. We can resolve this. Because I'm of the opinion that the Governor General has power when it comes to the government of Jamaica. He has authority when it comes to his relationship with the
I have a question when I can get a chance.
No, hold on. PJ Patterson did quote the same word them too, you know. In the 2000, you know. Him say some people have come down upon him and I tell him what to do. And them had apparent authority to question him on them way there. And like Mussolini, when the Pope tell him certain things, Mussolini said to him, say, how many troops do you have? Since you claim say you have power over me. How much troops you have? You remember that?
Jerry.
No, I don't want you, Jerry, because I'm going to come to Jerry now.
No, hold on a second. No.
What
I'm saying to you, first of all, it's two distinct situations. You're talking about a religious leader and a political leader. Here we are talking about a colonial power, right? And subservient, I just said, lackeys underneath it. And what me I said to you is simply this.
I'm going to tell you this. Hold on, my battery get low, you know. My battery low on my phone, I won't cut off.
All right, last, ask you, Wesley, ask a question.
Me?
Yeah, go ahead, Wesley.
Yeah, my question. Look what rather read in terms of the Constitution and what Jerry put in forward, and what I know in terms of the law and the land. If the King of England or the Queen of England, which is the persons or the kingdom that our Constitution ties to, is the head of state, isn't it that person would have more power, more say than the Prime Minister, although the Prime Minister elected people of Jamaica? Because they are working on behalf of the King and Queen, or of the King or of the Queen of England. So therefore, is person that he put in charge down here will be the more.
Yeah, take long. My battery go down and you take long. Yeah, take long for answer to don't ask the question. Because my battery go down.
Can I say something here?
No. The man asked a question. How you say something again? Love me and the man. You don't ask the question, sir.
Right again?
Don't bring in nobody else. Don't ask the question. Make me talk.
Go ahead.
No, hold on.
All right. Now go ahead now. No, me gone. If you don't make me go ahead, no, me gone.
Go ahead, Jerry.
All right. The Governor General have no rash power. And the next thing is this. A man say everybody have to answer to somebody. I want to ask Rattigan, me, Jerry Small, who me have to answer to?
You want me to answer that question?
I ask you.
Okay.
That is a
no, the man make the man answer me.
I asked my question and you don't.
Low the man make the man answer me, please.
Tell me more.
Rattigan answer me. Rattigan answer me, please.
All right, here's the answer. Everybody on this panel have the answer.
You said that already. You said that already.
So, and just like what I said,
Jerry Small.
You Jerry Small, you know who you answer to. I don't know who you answer to.
Then how you tell me say every man have to answer to somebody?
Let me ask you this. Do you answer to anybody?
No one, nobody.
All right.
Nobody.
All right, sir. All right.
Bodies die. You hear me now? Bodies die. Life go on forever. Bodies die, you know. Animals die. Plants die. life go on forever. Nobody me no answer to. Tell me one living body where me have to answer to. Tell
Let
me.
me ask you a question.
No answer. Which
No,
living body Jerry Small
hold on a
have to
second.
answer
Hold on a second. Remember formulate the scenario. Jerry, the policeman, hold on, Jerry, the policeman stop you. And the policeman ask if you're driver's and license. And you don't answer him, you don't want to do anything. And so them forced to detain you. And then you end up in court. And now you faced a judge. So none of them, you not answer to authorities at all. Nobody answer to.
You tell me, say the policeman stop me. Tell me the rest. And him charge me. And him hold me. And him handcuff me and carry me go to jail. I'm carry me to court. Why you say the question now?
The question is, you don't answer to authorities at all.
I must answer the judge. I must answer the judge.
We just simply ask if you
Tell me if I must answer the judge.
No, that's your choice. That's your choice.
I'm glad you know. I'm glad you know that.
Yeah, your choice. That
I'm glad you know. And I'm going to tell you this before my battery dead. I've been there. I've been there.
When you
and I know me one.
Well, when you
hold on, let me don't talk. There is a critical mass of us who don't have to answer to no one. And then there's a next set of people who have to answer. It's not them going to put things straight. It's a critical mass who don't have to answer to no one. But them have to agree with one another. They agree on what are the rules. And we all agree to obey and live by those agreements. And there's a critical mass, and me one not to answer to them. Enough away of every race. Don't have to answer to no one, but we volunteer to make agreement. And the critical mass going sure. Because I've been there and done that. And many have been there and done that.
Jerry, can I say something here?
You just asked something.
I'm going to say something. I think I'm tending to agree with Jerry when it comes to the Governor General. He has authority. He can do certain things. But he doesn't have the power to dissolve the Jamaican government. He has the authority that was granted to him by the king. But the power is a separate thing. It's a separate thing. So I think I'll go along with Jerry's line of reasoning between the power and the authority. Okay. Jerry, my question to you, based on what you're saying, then, it is obvious that you're not in support of this constitutional reform committee. It is very obvious. My question to you, what about proportional representation? Do you think that is something we need to think about?
Proportional representation can work for the good, but it alone can't work for the good.
What about recall?
All of those things, they work together for the good.
So what is missing then?
Me and you and she will decide what is missing and we will supply them.
All right. Can I
Ratigan, go ahead, Ratigan.
Yeah, all right. You just say you agree with Jerry, and that's fine. I'm going to read you something from, again, the Constitution, Section 32, subsection 6. We're talking about powers now and authority. Listen to this. It says, any reference in this Constitution to the functions of the Governor General shall be construed as a reference to his powers and duties. Remember that word there now? Power. It in the Constitution. So I don't know.
Yeah, let me know. You think because something write down on paper, that is gospel?
Well, do you what? It better write it or write the coming up. But we not insinuate it. It's written there.
Yes, and you believe because something is written.
It's written.
You believe that through something written is gospel?
But just think about it. If it never did, what argument would I have if it wasn't even written there? I couldn't argue with you until you said.
All right, well, I'm going to tell you this now. The people of the United States review the whole of them thing there. And them take the British Magna Carta and wipe them bottom. And them go carry out the Boston Tea Party.
Listen, Nita, all me I refer you to. Just read section 32. The whole of section 32.
I will.
Because anybody will tell me said the man have no power, the man forget explain to me how him have no, because it's written
all right. Well, you can
exactly.
you can hold on, hear me now. I'm going. you can ascribe power to him and go and follow all of them
Me
right.
ascribe no power to
Hold
the
on, make me done, man. Make me done. You know, make me done. Make me done. You can ascribe power to him, and you can go and ascribe all kind of power and authority to written word just because it's written. Well, hear this now. It's not people like that is going to free Jamaica. We ascribe power to for them word and for them paper. I hear this next thing I know. Wholeness just appoint Rocky Mead as ambassador plenipotentiary. What plenipotentiary mean?
Means him can do him have like unlimited power, can even enter in a contracts on behalf of the
Yes,
government.
unlimited power. In and outside of Jamaica.
Yes.
And literally it is a translation. Plenty mean full and potential mean power. Full power. And with all that, full power where him ascribe, I convince him one who convince we say Rocky Mead have that, you know. Is a fiction them are creating, you know. But most human beings are controlled by fiction. And the politicians know that fictions, when they are swallowed, people comply with fiction. But Rocky Mead and other things what them doing now is the Haitianization of Jamaica. They attempted it, because it's not going to carry out successfully. They attempted the Haitianization of Jamaica by Wholeness, Rocky Mead, the Commissioner of Police, them money man friend them, and the whole clique of them. And them girlfriend.
On that note, can we invite some callers, because they might have questions for you. So callers, if you want to take part in the discussion, please call the number that is now on the screen. So Jerry, it's a question of ascribing whether powers to others, giving people power rather than in reality. That is what you're saying.
Anybody who have to be given power, it's not power you get authority.
Okay.
People who have power take power and make power. When you have to be given something, it's not power, it's authority. People who have real power is not usually, no one man usually have power. It's groups of people take power. No one man, not even Haile Selassie, had power by himself. Power was derived by groups of people led by Haile Selassie, led by this one, led by that one, and the other one.
Last, you've been out of the discussion so far. Let me hear from you now.
That question I'd like to ask Jerry is with the present drive towards this republic in Jamaica, and that was one of the terms of reference of the Constitutional Committee. What do you think that this we're having this drive right now? You think it's a genuine move on the part of the Jamaican government to give any form of power to the people, or you think it's just political gimmickry?
The Jamaican government is not genuine, and you damage yourself when you define them as capable of making genuine move. They are not genuine, and it's the same con game as 1944, 62, and proposed right here now. The same con game.
What I am seeing, Jerry, is that like for successive governments, whether JLP or PNP, they have, over the years, they have mentioned this move to republicanism, and they talk about it around election times, and
Yes.
It has been forgotten. Recently, with the motley, the kind of fanfare and the kind of celebration.
Hello, hold on. Did you say the Motley Crew?
No, what I'm saying, what I'm saying, Jerry, the recent drive now it seems to be coming from the kind of celebration that they see in Barbados with Motley.
Well, Motley husband is from Barbados, a very nice brethren. And just as you intimate, they are put to shame by Barbados by a woman no less. A woman who have several more balls than them.
That is my concern right now, because I'm seeing where both PNP and GLP, they have been in power for...
They have not been in power, they have been in authority.
Well, put it in any way, they have been in government, right? And they, before now, have made no significant effort to change the constitution in any meaningful way that would give real power to the Jamaican people. Right?
You know of any PNP or GLP who want to give power to the Jamaican people?
I haven't seen one yet.
All right, so when we speculate about these things, we are displaying adolescent tendency, and I'm not trying to insult the adolescent.
What about DK Duncan?
What's about DK?
I think DK was one of those who were committed to empowering the Jamaican people.
Yes, but DK, they know. DK get pushed out of the PNP. Him could have formed something else, you know. But if you notice, him never go into the NDA, him never go into the WPGA openly. Probably was a NDA or a WPGA underneath. But I know that he was the chief political strategist of the NDM for a time. And I think DK would have worked towards it. But on the other hand, him children, them was so successful carrying out their mother legacy that it kind of outweigh DK political strategy. And after a while, him start realize, like Colonel Charles say, him better assemble a team out of him family and who try well as much seat as possible and carry out one dynasty. Because even in Russia, even in communism, families end up in dynasties in control of communist country. You understand?
Yeah. One would also say your brother, you small, is committed to that sort of situation.
Which situation? Which situation?
Empowering the Jamaican people.
No, but him leave out of that. Him leave that work there. Him used to that work there from my youth, from my teenager. But I think PJ Patterson kind of sidelined him as the most successful politician in the history of Jamaica, PJ Patterson. I think him sideline you small, and after that, him thwart him in certain ways when him applied to be on the appeal court for Jamaica and other things. But at one time, them used to be friends.
Wesley, you wanted to...
Wesley, conversation run. Make the conversation run, Mikey.
Okay. Any other question for Jerry?
I want to ask a question. Jerry, the constitutional reform at this point seems to be only centered around the question of Jamaica becoming a republic.
It's a con game. What them planning?
Don't you believe that there are more substantial issues surrounding the Constitution that would be that are more beneficial to the masses of the country?
Yes, certainly, and that's why I tell Hilton, say, as a member of that committee, their only way that they can exonerate themselves is by explaining how the British used the politician of Jamaica to pull the wool over the eyes of the people 44, 62, 2023. That's why I tell him that. Because, of course, there's far more fundamental and substantial way that it must be done. We know that.
And the next thing, Jerry, is the process. The process seems to be centered on the committee itself, right?
Yeah.
Rather than centered amongst the people, like getting the views of the people. And what is it about the Constitution that is affecting the people, that the people needs to change, right?
No,
It seems
for
to be
the
centered
first,
on.
all right, this is not our constitution, never has been, and therefore it only have delayed the people of Jamaica from make a constitution for themselves and make a nation in Jamaica for the first time since the Taino. For the first time since the Taino. We're not trying to bring back Jamaica. Jamaica never was no great nation. For the first time, the population of Jamaica is going to. All right, look here. Look, hey, you see the building? You see the building? You see the building behind me? You see the building behind me? You hear me?
Yeah.
The building behind me is
Yeah,
the
man.
Adam Clayton
Hello?
Powell building. You hear me? You hear me?
Yeah,
Caller.
man. I hear you.
What
I
me say
hear
it
you.
name? What me say it name?
Just a minute,
Adam
just a
Clayton
minute.
building.
Just a
Adam
minute,
what?
boy. Just a minute,
Adam
just a
what?
minute.
Clayton.
No, Adam Clayton Powell.
Hey, bro,
Okay.
we have a caller on the line. Caller, can you speak up? Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear the caller?
No,
Hold
no,
on,
go
not
ahead.
really.
go again.
Oh yes, thank you guys for taking my call. I'm learning so much as a Jamaican living overseas for a good long time. Now the two-party system, in my opinion.
No, we need some volume.
So I listening to Jerry, I'm learning a lot from
No,
him.
volume.
Mikey. You can up the volume. Jerry not hearing.
I'm hearing, but I'm not hearing well enough. Come now. Come, where the caller? Caller.
Hello?
Yeah, come.
Hello?
I am hearing you. You're not hearing me.
Yeah, well, I think the caller,
All right, well, let me say what I say. You ready?
caller, if you're listening to it, can you call back? Somehow your phone call dropped. So give us a call, huh? Thank you.
All right, you hear me?
Go ahead.
The building where I said there behind me, what is that name? What is that name?
Adam Clayton Powell building.
All right, that in New York. The first time you ever come to New York. And you know what them call the state? The state New York have another name. You know what them call it?
Empire State.
Empire State. You know what is Empire? You know what is Empire? Yeah, man, Empire State. Every one of the states is a nation. No? Every one of the states in the United States is a nation. You didn't know that?
Yeah, we all know that.
No, we all don't know that. We all do not know that every state in the United States is a nation. We all do not know that. Now, the United States is a federation. You understand me? You hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
man,
yes.
I hear you.
The United States was a federation of 13 states. Them was colony, you know. Like Jamaica is a colony now. But them take the Magna Carta, the English Constitution, and wipe them bottom with it. And decide to overthrow them relative and them master. And them overthrow it and declare the 13 colonies no more colony, but them is 13 nation. And then go and organize themselves in a federation. But when them carry out the revolution, you know, them never intend for the black people and the red Indian get the rights where them a fight for, you understand?
Yeah, man.
But the black people and the red Indian get plenty of the rights where them fight for, but them not get all of them. But eventually, it will be complete that all of the people in the United States get all of the rights that the white people have. Well, the same way now, Jamaica, when we, that critical mass, we don't have to answer to nobody, get together and answer to one another voluntarily, not by compulsion. That critical mass, don't care what the rest of the people want to stay underneath and say them underneath people power and authority. That critical mass will bring about a situation that everybody will enjoy the improvement. That critical mass is working for everybody else, you know. Because when you work for yourself, you're not going to succeed. But you have to know in yourself, say you don't have to bow to nobody. You have no obligation to bow to nobody. But you have an obligation to serve one another and everybody.
I hear that. You finish, yes, Jerry?
Yeah, man.
We spend a lot of time on the
But I do have a lot of time. They pause,
on the Constitution.
Yeah.
You hearing me? Are you not?
Yes. They spend a lot of time for the Constitution.
What I would like to say in this discussion that we would want to find and last raise it, we have been raising it in terms of the constitutional reform is with the committee, but from this forum, I think the moderator and all of us should now start to think and focus in terms of what other people
just a minute,
we need to put.
Can you just a minute? Brethren, we have a caller. I'm going to take this call from the caller. All right, go ahead now.
Yeah, man.
I want to tell Mr. Ratigan said that the guys that got escaped from
You can't put the mic on our mouth.
they are giving a hard time at Turner stuff. People cannot sleep. They'll bring them over Turner stuff to mash up Turner stuff because that's really wrong. I was down there and I had to fly, come back up yesterday because we sprayed at the boy. The boy couldn't do all of them up here. All of them from Black River.
We're not clear on what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about this prison them that escaped from Black River police station, sir.
Okay. And they are giving you trouble?
So I'm trying to. Let me say right now, please do take into consideration because the police them to them do their work. They're not doing their work because they're over the bush hiding.
All right.
Mikey, take her offline. Take her offline and just find out, get the information from her. This is the reason I'm asking to do this.
All right.
Take her offline and get the information from her.
Hello. Can I have your number? Go ahead. Mr. Ratigan will contact you. No, you're just on the phone. Okay, all right. Okay. Yeah, but I need a number to give Mr. Ratigan. Well, I don't have a you're all right. Listen, call us back, okay? Ratigan,
yeah.
The lady wants to talk to you, but she don't want to leave her number. So Yeah, guys, you were saying?
Yeah, I was saying, Mikey, I would spend a lot of time and there about the Constitution, and Jerry Carros gave us a good history in terms of the and where it started from and all history, which is very good. Right? These also say that the power have to come from the people. And if the power have to come from the people, which we all know, we are all political animals and always want to be a part of the people and the people the power. I think we should spend some more time now looking at the Constitution and what is it that we would like to see in the Constitution, where and what power the people can have, either at the community level, at leader, and all of those things. So we need to spend time. Oh, I think that
Correction.
is that way. So
Correction.
since
I'm not. Can I say what I'm about to say?
Go
Can
ahead,
you hear
man.
me?
Go ahead.
let's
Go ahead.
stop because I want.
First, number one, I do not think I'm a political animal. I want to dismiss that first. I'm not a political animal. I'm more than that. You know, I'm involved with politics, but I'm not a political animal. On the Constitution, I think just from looking at this today's discussion, this going to be a very disturbing discussion because we all have our views as to what should be the Constitution, what should not go into the Constitution, or what have you. Okay, this is just what we have here today is a small sample, right? I think what is needed right now, and I think that is what Jerry is pointing to. We need to have a national debate about the Constitution rather than it just restricted to a small group of lawyers and supporters locked up in a room. Mr. Hilton said we should go online and we can see the minutes. I don't think that is enough. You know, there need to be more effort to incorporate the Jamaican people into the process. Okay, so that's my take on it. If the others think different, fine. I think we should have a discussion about the Constitution, and I'm going to get, well, the person to have that discussion is Mr. Hilton because he sits on the body, and I know Rattigan is lining up a discussion with Mr. Hilton, right, Rattigan?
Yeah, he was supposed to come on yesterday, but he had some technical difficulties, so that didn't work out. We're trying to
Right.
get him on this week.
But I know that's going to happen.
Yes.
So the constitutional discussion, from you hear the passion here and the disagreement. This is just an example of let me take this call. This is another caller. Caller. Hello, caller.
Good evening. To the panelists and everybody.
Hold on, let me check. Can you hear the caller?
I'm hearing.
Can you hear the caller?
I am hearing.
All right, go ahead, caller.
Yeah, I was thinking that as I've always been saying over the time, I don't think we need to scrap this so-called constitution that we have. Some of that is that it's English constitution, so we should just scrap that, throw it out and start and do something new. We don't know what they call amend, or to throw it out and do something new. And I don't know, I think there's a gentleman I watched one of the town hall meetings that they have in Port Antonio. And there was a gentleman with a constitution all written up and so forth. And I don't think anybody has taken him up on it to find out what is in it and so forth. Also, if we're going to have a national debate on the situation, have a line that people can write in their input that to put in the constitution, and then after that input, then we come to a consensus and pick out the best few out of it to add to the constitution that we want to follow, because we have to move in that direction that this constitution is ours and not theirs. And we're not subservient to anybody else. We can have independence and still have a king ruling over us via a governor general. And Jerry rightly said he's just so lucky to carry out the monarch whims and fantasies. So I think we should move in that direction. So let's see what you guys have to say.
All right, thank you. Brothers, you heard the gentleman.
No, I never hear him say.
Lasse, you heard the gentleman.
Yeah, he was basically agreeing with you, Jerry, that the Constitution Committee, you need a broader kind of forum to deal with the amendment of the Constitution. He was saying that we probably better scrap the entire Constitution and start all over again than trying to amend it. That's basically what he was saying.
Yeah, I know him get the idea. And the next thing is this now. In addition, I would like replace or move none of brethren. In addition to the 4 hours there now. If we're serious, we're going to have female in the discussion, because this discussion now reach now with 4 men alone a reason.
Yeah, man.
And it can't reach now with 4 old men neither. So we have to get female and we have to get young people. And that time now you're going to start with some action. And some people are not afraid to depart. And people are going to declare to you, say, we don't have an answer to nobody. We only answer to one another and agree on what will be done amongst us and what we will observe. We will not interfere with one another's freedom. We will not interfere with one another's wife. We will not thief one another. And we agree and agree and agree and agree. We don't have to answer to nobody. We answer to one another by agreement, voluntarily.
What about your children, Jerry?
What's about the
what
children?
About your children? Don't you answer to your children?
No, I do have to answer to my children. I don't have to answer to nobody. But okay. I do answer. I don't have to. I do answer to people. I don't have to.
Okay.
I'm not bound. There's no one that I have to answer to. But as an intelligent human being, we learn how to cooperate. That is how we arrive in a more advantageous position than the beasts them when not talk plain English, but the beasts them have language, I don't think the ants them have language and communicate with one
another. Yeah. Wesley, go ahead.
Me again. Every time I try to say something, it's like. No, that's what I was saying. That was I was saying that now that we exhaust the whole thing of the monarchy, the constitution, committee, and so forth. We now here need to start to put forward what we think.
Hold for a minute, another caller. Caller. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know if you're listening to it live or not. I'm in Canada. You're talking about the Jamaican Constitution, right? Hello?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Right. So what I'm saying, I'm listening to a lot of programs dealing with the Jamaican Constitution. But I was thinking that where we should start is to take the Jamaican Constitution, review it, throw away the parts that we don't like, and keep the parts that we want. Take the U.S. Constitution also and do the same thing with it, and the Canadian Constitution. merge all the documents, then we use that as a stepping stone. We review what we have, the notes that we have, and then we accept the part that we don't want, we reject parts, and then we build on that for a new constitution. I think that's where we should start. I hear some people saying we should get rid of the old constitution altogether. I'm pretty sure there's some good things in it. So I think that's how we should start, instead of starting from scratch. Now, what do you think?
Well, I'll ask the panel caller. Thank you for the call.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Jerry,
Yeah.
Jenkins, you heard the question?
No,
yeah,
repeat.
yeah.
Sum it up for me. Sum it up.
Basically, he's saying that what we should do is look at the Constitution, retain what is good, get rid of the bad side, look at the Canadian, do the same thing with the Canadian and the American Constitution in order to have a Jamaican Constitution.
Well, I know I would not base my constitutional discussion upon what exists already. I would be a damn fool to base it on what exists already and then tailor fit it and adjust it. I am not here to reform no Jamaican constitution. It's a con game and it's the biggest crime in the history of humanity. Our African enslavement down here. And I'm not here to repair or to fashion out nothing off of what them have there already. We are take the thing from scratch, and not for them scratch.
Radigan, you're a lawyer. What do you have to say about this?
No, I agree with Bongo Jerry on this. I don't believe we should fashion or hammer out our reform something that's so terribly crafted against the interests of the Jamaican people. I've looked at the Constitution. It's about 60, I think it's 60-something pages. I've looked at it. And to me, there's no way you can amend this and make it fit the Jamaican experience. I don't think you can, because it's almost like if you have a old car and you fix one part of it and another part broke down and you fix another part, and then you might as well just start it and just save the money and buy a brand new car. So I agree with him. I wouldn't be trying to fashion out a new constitution based on the existing constitution. I would say, you know what? Abolish this and start fresh. That's what I would do.
I'm getting a feedback from Jerry. Jerry, you hear that feedback?
Yeah.
Come again.
Yeah. We're getting a feedback from you, Jerry.
I get a feedback from me.
Yeah.
All right, we're done. One, no more feedback.
Okay. Yeah, so you're saying
All right.
You agree with Jerry?
Yeah, 100%.
Wesley?
And that was what I am saying from the when I started to speak, is that we know that we look at it, the Constitution, and we flush it out and see the wrongs and so forth. There's anything at all you're doing, you're going to have to look at you're gonna do a new one, but you have to see what was there, that you don't make the said mistake to incorporate the bad that was in the old one in it. So I think that the discussion and the discussion onward that we will be having should be that each time we come, if we spend even 10 minutes of the discussion, I want to spend the whole time on the Constitution, that we can put forward different things. And the only way we can also do that is to help look at a Constitution and see what is there in Constitution, and then we can say, this is what I don't want, this is what I want, and this is what I want to do in the new Constitution. And I think the Constitution should not be among the committee, just the committee, but a broad-based thing. And I think since we are here, we should be leading that in terms of what is the new way in terms of the Constitution. And I still...
You finish?
Yeah, finally, and I still don't understand the whole thing of what is the new thing they are putting forward. When they take, what is the new
What a Republican being
a Republican. I still don't understand honestly, what a Republican government thing. I don't understand it. I try to understand it, but it's just not coming to me. You understand? So
That's
if it is not
that's
coming to me, then I think it is foolishness.
Oh.
that's what I want to talk about, Wesley. In that, if you're gonna reform, if you well,
I
we
don't say you must reform it, you know.
we rejecting that whole notion of reform. If we're gonna be discussing any form of constitution, right, it have to come with a process of educating the people who are going to be involved in this process for a good while. I mean,
And
it's
that's
like
what I'm saying.
it's like saying it's like calling a referendum and the people are not informed or educated about a referendum, and you expect them to make a decision on the spot without having a full background of what the Constitution should be, what it should look like, what powers it should give the Jamaican people, right? What rights should be enshrined in that, in whatever document, right, to give meaningful power and protection to the Jamaican people. I think all of this needs to be discussed over time, right? Some medium or some process needs to be put in place to ensure that those kind of discussions take place before you start saying that you're gonna write a constitution, right? Because you might end up writing a constitution where the people have not been fully informed about them rights and their protections, and you write a constitution where down the road the people realize again that it's just a paper document that gives them no right and no protection, are not the kind of rights and protection that they need. So rather than concentrating in the constitutional discussion around a constitutional committee, I think it should be a broad-based thing and more educational before we actually get to the writing of a constitution.
And that's what I am saying, lads.
I want to say I'm in agreement with Ratigan and Jerry. I'm not into reform. I'm talking about a fundamental change. So that's where I stand. Second, I think each of us owe it to ourselves to read the Constitution. That's just something that is lacking in Jamaica. We don't read the Constitution. We don't.
But
we just say, "I'm man, tell us this and we'll go along with it." No, this is an opportunity for us to look at the Constitution. I saw Ratigan start doing that yesterday and encouraging people to do it. We should all get a copy of the Constitution and look at it.
I agree with you, Mikey, but I believe it is also the responsibility of the government and the public
Yes,
agencies
I agree with
to
I agree with
ensure
that. I agree with that, my brother.
ensure public education,
I said
because
that
a
earlier.
lot of people, even if they have the Constitution, right, probably some people will not have the capacity or the experience to go through that kind of document and understand it.
True.
So I think it is also, while everybody should try and get a copy of the Constitution, I think the government and the government agencies, right, should try to have some form of public education that can help those people who have a difficulty.
To be fair to the government, this body, they are doing that, but not at the widespread level that we would like. Am I correct, Mr. Radigan?
Well, let me just
On the Constitution?
Yeah, go ahead, Radigan.
Let me just go back and say that they need to bring back civics in the
Yeah.
classroom, right? If there's one thing the government should be doing, instead of going out there and have selected town hall meetings where they themselves cannot explain the constitution, what they're trying to do to this, to the sufficiency of the people, right? Because I see people stumping them with questions that these are questions where they should have the answers just rolling off their tongues, but they haven't. No, the constitution is only about 60 something pages, and I agree with last that some people read it and they won't have the capacity to understand it. But at least take a stab at it and start reading it, because I'm telling you, I've read it, and things that we things that things that we have things that we have heard about the constitution, it's not quite true. I'm telling you, when you read this thing and you read the language and you look at it and you see how it's applied, you'll see that a lot of the things they're just misconstrued when people tell us that the constitution said this and the constitution said that. And that's why whenever I refer to the constitution, I always try to give chapter and verse so that people don't have to take my word for it. They can go there and read it for themselves. It's no mystery. This document is not hidden away in some safe or hidden cave or something like that. It's there. Everybody can read it. And that's why I encourage and I implore my listeners, my viewing audience, that look, if you have an issue with anything with the constitution, please reach out to me. If you have an issue with the Access to Information Act of 2002, whatever you have, reach out to me. That's why I'm there. If I don't know the answer, I'm not going to make it up. I'm going to tell you that, listen, I don't know the answer. Let me do the research and come back to you next week. But each one teach one. And I'm hopeful that when I can pass on information, share information, disseminate information with my listening audience, that they can look at the references and they themselves can then go on and teach their neighbors, teach their children, because each one hopefully will teach one. And that's how we get the message spread. We cannot depend on the government to do all of this for us, because remember, the government has an agenda. Right? And so we have to get involved as a people. But how do we get involved? We get involved first by being informed and understanding what the issues are. And that's why, and some people are, and that's why the traveling road show called the town hall meetings for the reformation of the Constitution, they're having difficulty because they're now being faced with people who have read and people who understood what's going on. And then when people challenge them and ask them questions, they can't answer. But all in all, to sum it up, after going through this document and see how pervasive it is in terms of the powers and the responsibility, the discretion of the Governor General, I say, let's just get rid of this whole document. Because this document is, when you read both, just take that one title, Governor General. There's a chapter 4, called the Governor General, but you would be sadly mistaken if you think that's the only chapter that has to do with the Governor General. He's all over the goddamn document, all over. So anybody who's going to tell me that he doesn't have the power, no, I have to disagree, because it specifically says he has powers and he has duties. Duties, that's where we're talking about authority. Duties, that's his authority. But power, that's something else. When a man has the power to say no, and he's not, and not only that, he doesn't have to respond to the Jamaican public or Jamaican government. He can just say no, and that's the end of the story. There's nothing you can do about it. Nothing. To me, that's powerful. That's not. And whenever he signs off on something, like he's been signing off on these unconstitutional states of emergency, that's also his power. Because he could have said no. And why could he have said no? Because the Constitution itself says he could have said no. And if he said no, there's nothing the Prime Minister could do about it. Absolutely nothing. So, all in all, we need to get rid of this Constitution and start afresh. And by the way, why the rush? Why the rush?
That's a serious question.
We have problems with healthcare. We have problems with national security. We have problems with infrastructure, roads, water, electricity. We have problems with energy. We have problems with local government. We have problems with education, housing. Why don't we address those issues instead of spending all this money trying to take care of it? This should be done piecemeal, and it should be done over an extended period. I don't know what the rush is. And that's why people don't even understand, because there's a rush.
I know what the rush is.
Yeah, we know. Yeah.
I know what the rush is, because
tell us what the rush is.
The fear is right now the Republic whole question of republic, it is in the air. After Barbados, it is in the air, and the government want to cash in. Right? The government want to cash in on the currency of the whole talk about being a republic. Right? So they need to move quickly.
Well, this
right?
is not the first
It's not
time.
it's
This is
Huh?
not the first time. This is not the first time because I remember in the 70s we were talking about republic and looking at Guyana with Charles Burnham.
all the
Guyana set up a republic.
there
What is a
there was
republic? I asked you to the forum, what is a republic? I said, I don't understand what is the republic. And who on the forum we're still talking about what
It's a
is the
form of
republic?
government headed by a president.
Yes.
You know, form of administration headed by a president. That's what they're looking at. You know, just like in Guyana,
I don't get your mic.
Just like in Guyana, you have a president.
Why I'm asking this question? Okay? Why I'm asking this question? If we are talking about republic on this forum, we need to every time we say something, we need to define it what it is that the person who are the persons are person who are listening.
Well,
to
we have a lawyer here, radical.
Can well on the mic. The person or persons who are listening to us can say, okay, this is what a republic is about. I want it or I don't want it. And this is why I am saying that we, at this forum that we have, we need to start to speak on the Constitution, even 10 minutes of it or 15 minutes in our program to say we take a verse, a chapter, or what, and we discuss it and we put forward what we think should be. This is our contribution to the thing.
Has the committee proposed anything as yet? Is there a document as such?
No, Mikey. I am saying, this is what I am saying again, Mikey. I am saying this. The committee don't put forward anything. You are saying we, in this forum, the round table, the Sunday round table, as presenters, with Jamaicans listening to us abroad and home, we need to start the discussion on it and put proposals. So this is I can't say this is what I think I should want in it. You said that, Rata said that, he said that, and from our audience that is coming through, put forward their position, and we document what we are saying in it. That if there's a time that we need to put forward a document, we can say from the roundtable talk, and our listeners of X amount of people, Jamaican people, this is their position on the Constitution, and chapter 1 in terms of crime, and chapter 1 in terms of hanging, and chapter X in terms of politicians who dishonest politicians are recalled, and those things. That is what I am saying. We need to start to say tangible things.
Well, in essence, a republic is where you have the people in charge, as opposed to what we have now is a monarchy. We have to answer to somebody else who doesn't even reside in the country. What I think that they should do is they should explain to the people. That's one of the first things they should explain to them, as Wesley and Lass just alluded to it. They should explain to them what is the difference between what we have now and a republic. Show us the pros and show us the cons, right? They need to explain that. But just to go around and say, well, we're planning to have a president who will have certain powers, and we will have this and we'll have that. That's not really explaining to the people what this whole difference is about. They need to come out and say, look, we need to get rid of the governor general. That's number one, right? We need to get rid of the fact that we are. How can you have a monarchy as the head of state of a sovereign and independent country? A monarchy that's not your monarchy, because we don't have a monarchy. We are broken free based on the 1962 document. We're broken free from the British. So they need to come out and just explain the basics to people so that they understand what's going on. Because I submit to you, as was said, most people don't understand what's going on. They hear the word constitution, they hear the word republic, but if you ask them, tell me your understanding of what is going on and what is the fundamental difference between these two styles of governance or government, they won't be able to tell you. And that's where I think the government is falling flat on its face, in the sense that I don't, the way they've structured rolling this out to the public, woefully, and it's not serving anybody. It's not serving them, and it's not serving the public.
And Radigan, it's giving some people the impression that the changes that needs to come with the Constitution is solely around being a republic, right? Because the discussions are so dominated about being a republic that all the other reasons why we need to have a meaningful constitution is getting lost, right? Because the government seems to be focused on this republic thing right now, right? And not about the other rights and powers that the people of Jamaica should have and which should be enshrined in our constitution, right? So I agree with you that they need to come out and explain to the people, right, what the whole republic drive is and what the whole constitution as a whole, what that drive for a new constitution is all about.
Right.
Can I read something here? What is a republic government? In simple terms, it is a government in which supreme power resides in a body of citizens entitled to vote and is exercised by elected officers and representatives responsible to them and governing according to law. That is what the dictionary classification, definition of a republic. But I'm not sure, because Jamaica is so political, that I'm not sure what is happening. We probably can see a mix between the Westminster democracy and the American democracy, where they try to take from the American and take and retain something, because that idea was circulated some time ago. It's not the first time we're talking about constitutional reform in Jamaica. So my thing is to wait until the committee put forward its suggestion. Okay, Ratigan.
No, West. Go ahead, West. We say West. I shake him in. West not agree. Go ahead, West.
No, I am not in agreement to wait until the committee put forward anything, Mikey. We are independent of that committee, and we are educating the people. The roundtable talk on Sunday is to educate the Jamaican people, educate ourselves, and educate those who are living outside of Jamaica, who are Jamaican. So we supposed to start the thing. Right? I don't think that we need to make the start, and then when they start to have something up there, if we getting it from the people that we are in discussion with on a Sunday, then we put forward our thing. We must not wait on them. So that's why I am saying, Mikey, I want you to put a part inside of this Sunday forum, since one of the things in Jamaica is the constitutional reform, right? That we can start to say, for example, like what I said to you this evening, I don't understand what is a republic. I understand it, but I know a lot of people don't understand it. And we need to educate the people of Jamaica and the people who are listening to us. As last say, some people will read something and don't understand it. In simple terms, we have a lawyer beside us. We have us who do different things in management, in public service, and all of those things. All of us are different animals who deal with different things. So we need to start there, that we can say, yes, this is our beginning. Yes.
You're absolutely correct. And,
I'm
and,
finished.
and,
I'm
and
finished. Last.
yeah, no. I say you're absolutely correct. And somebody, somebody who's listening, watching the program, mentioned to me that even the politicians themselves, they don't understand the difference. Some of them, they've never read the Constitution, and I know this for a fact because I've spoken to some senior members in Parliament, and when I start pointing out certain things to them, it became readily apparent to me that they're ignorant about the Constitution. They don't know, because what they do, they hear things, or they read a little excerpt, a little blurb, but they haven't gone through this thing thoroughly. And so when I have a discussion with them, I find that it's more like I'm actually teaching them, because they don't know. And like I said, I don't go by hearsay. I said to them, say, look at section 5, verse subsection this and that, and tell me what, read it and tell me what you think it says, right? And I also agree with you, Wes, when you say that we shouldn't sit back and let them compile a whole bunch of nonsense and then throw it at us later on, or they give it to the Parliament and then the Parliament then decide. Because if once it's done at that point, where do we fit in? Once they compile their things, they're gonna submit it to Parliament. Where is our input? At what point do we have an input? We don't have. It's too late at that point.
Okay. Well, Wesley.
Yes.
I'm going to task you with looking at the Constitution and give a presentation next time we meet, so we can start the discussion.
Right.
Okay. So you'll gather information from your sources, and I know you have a lot of source, political source, and then you lead a discussion next week around the Constitution. Also, in addition to Radigan, I'll reach out to a relative of mine who came on the program before and invite her to come and talk. So can we agree on that?
Yeah.
Right.
I will look at a section, and I will ask question, and I will start it section or a chapter, section by section, or a verse by verse, whichever one I think of.
But you should also look at the minutes, because from what I gather, there's a internet site, a website, where they're updating with minutes as to what this committee is meeting. And probably can invite Ratigan going to talk with Mr. Hilton around that next week. So, but listen, anything to educate the Jamaican people, I'm for that. Yeah. I'm for that, and let's move ahead. Ratigan, you want to say something?
No, I think somebody just wrote again and said that it's a very good idea that Wesley proposed, saying that, if whatever we can do to help people understand what's going on with this Constitutional Reform Committee, then we should. And therefore, his proposal that we spend some time during the program taking a section or a chapter or a subsection, whatever, and then just going over it and trying to explain to people what it means. And also trying to explain what it doesn't mean. Right. This doesn't mean this and it doesn't mean that. And at some point, we'll get to, okay, if we're going to do a constitution, here are certain things that we cannot have in the Constitution. We just cannot have. My question then is, what do we do at that point? Do we then take Wes's findings or the discussions that he's leading? Do we take that and then present that to the Constitutional Reform Committee as well and say, here is our input as to what's going on, as to what we think should be included in this new constitution that you guys are trying to, it's not new. It's a revised constitution they're working on.
That is my thinking.
Yes.
Yeah. I think I share Wesley's position, right? Because I think we need to start influencing the process, right? Before, it goes into overdrive and we there's nothing we can do about it. I think we should try to energize the people out there to be asking questions, to want to participate in the process. I think we should try to encourage people to do that, to ask questions, to try find out how they can participate and influence the process and the decisions out of this committee, so that, as Radigan said, it don't reach a point where we just we can't make any meaningful input.
Okay. I think we are in agreement. And on that note, brethren, I want to thank you for the time, the patience, and certainly we don't agree on it, all things.
That's what discussion is all about, Mikey.
Right.
Let me finish. We don't agree on everything, but I think today's discussion was enlightening, It was enlightening. You understand? And we have to keep it going because
I love Jerry's style.
yeah, people are listening. It's just that you have to be patient with Jerry, and let him talk, because you're talking about 75 years of wisdom.
It's not about patience. It's just being
Jerry has seen a lot.
Accepting his style,
Jerry has seen a lot, because Jerry left without even reading the poem that I talk about,
He said that his battery was going down. I don't think he leaves.
Yeah, I know. I'm not
But Nita, here's what I suggest to everybody. Everybody, when it comes to the discussion we have with Jerry, don't take my word for it. Don't take Jerry's word for it.
Yes,
go
exactly.
and look at the Constitution, chapter 4, subsection 27, chapter 4, section 27 and 31. And
where you get it to buy? Where you get the Constitution to buy?
It's online. It's online.
Printing office.
Sorry, not 31, 32. So you have to read. Let me just repeat it for people listening. Chapter 4 of the Constitution, entitled the Governor General. Just look at section 27 and read that in conjunction with section 32. And you'll understand the powers, right, and the authority of the Governor General.
Yeah, but you also have to understand this. What you're hearing from Jerry is a Rastaman interpretation of levity. You hear me now? His interpretation of life and events. And that is where he's coming from. Jerry is a Rastaman. Just like the Rastaman said, why, there was a popular thing in the 70s. I can't recall now, but Rasta the way where you can't refer to them a certain way. I man, we say the man say I man and the next man say you man. No, why I? No, you can't refer to I that way. But it's a indigenous way of looking at events and what have you. And Jerry's giving you his interpretation.
Nita, if you notice what I said don't take my word for it and don't take his word for it. Go and read it for yourself and then come and ask questions.
Yeah, that's
true. All you have to do.
That is true.
Yeah, because for example, Jerry mentioned that there are only 2 entities, right, in Parliament. And I don't know if you noticed that I pointed out to him that there are 3.
Yeah. The crown.
Exactly. And
the crown,
and the first one mentioned in the Constitution, Her Majesty, followed by the Senate and
that's why the question I was asking, that if it means then that the crown is the higher body, right? The person who represents down here must be higher than the Prime Minister.
I hear that question.
That's the question I was asking.
Yeah, that's a good question. I heard it, but we didn't get an answer. But that's a good question.
Therefore, if the Prime Minister have to take something to the Governor General to sign into law, are given permission to have a state of emergency, the Governor General is more powerful than the Prime Minister.
Precisely.
It's not just a rubber stamp.
That is what leads back to the Constitution being written the way it is written. What you are saying, Wesley, because the Governor General represents the crown, and the crown is the top of the food chain, the powers enshrined in the Constitution is to give the Governor General power over things that is over everything else under the crown.
Here's another chapter. It's
not no little boy. It's not no little boy.
It's just that. It is just that.
That's a little boy. I don't mean little boy in the sense of little boy. Just the term, right? Where we don't have no power. So we need to look at that, and that is important.
The thing though, Wesley, is that I don't know if it's by agreement or what, but the governor generals that we have had have sought not to use the power
Their powers.
that they have because
No,
they don't want to
it
upset.
doesn't. It don't
They-
need to, because
They don't want to upset the apple cart.
no, I don't think
You
it's a
know?
question of upsetting the apple cart. We also have to look at practices. And one of the practice is this. In the House of Parliament, you see that maze? If that is removed from the Parliament cannot meet, you know that. The
Yeah, well,
maze that is put, the maze that is placed in the center of the Parliament, if that is missing, the Parliament cannot meet. You know that. And that maze represent the crown. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Well, listen, another, and it's one sentence, chapter 5, it's entitled Parliament. Remember the one I gave before entitled Governor General? Chapter 5, section 34, one sentence. There shall be a Parliament of Jamaica which shall consist of Her Majesty,
Yeah, and that is the
a
maze.
Senate, and a House of Representatives. So 3 entities, not 2, like Jerry I give the public. That is the Senate and the House of Representatives. And the first one, Her Majesty. And who represents Her Majesty? The Governor General. It's that simple.
All right, gentlemen. I want to thank you all for a very informative discussion, and I hope the folks who are listening learn something from what was shared here today. Next week, we do it all over again, and we'll be anticipating a presentation from Wesley on the Constitution. And I would advise that Wesley touch with some of your lawyer friend down there and see what them can say. So until next week, brethren, walk good and tell everybody how it is.
Before I leave, Mikey, we need to let the people know that they can get the Constitution to buy at the government printing office. I don't know if it's still long.
I don't know if that is true. I'm not sure if that is true.
Still a government printing office?
They can get it online. Those with a computer access to, they can get it online.
Yeah, you remember the government printing office? That is where we usually get it to buy.
Yeah,
so I don't
had
know
mine
if we
from
can
that
still
time.
get it there. But there must be. All right. So they can ask.
I think Amazon sells it too.
All right, gentlemen.
Amazon sells it. Amazon in terms of Amazon, that's that.
Yeah, I think Amazon sell it. Yeah.
All
Or
right.
they can get it online. Just Google Jamaican Constitution.
And that's what I want. I want people to start to buy the Constitution, to read it, to understand, to ask questions, and follow us.
Right.
All right, Vince. Okay, until next week. Bye.
All right.
Yeah,
Bless
man.
up, brother.
Yes, I am. Cool.